Welcome back to Module 2.8. In this lecture video, I'm going to show you how to use the order operations to simplify our expression containing fractions. So just like with the order operation with whole numbers, I'm going to use addition and subtraction signs that are outside the parenthesis to separate my terms, so I will not violate any order operation. So here is one plus sign to separate between two terms. So what's in front of it is one term, and what's behind it is another term. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do my operation of fractions for every term on the side, and then move my answer back to the main part of the body. So this first term I highlight in yellow is division of fraction. So that means my 5 over 6 will times the reciprocal, 10 over 1. All right, I'm going to reduce top and bottom before I multiply. So the 10 on top, 6 in the bottom can be reduced by 2. So that will be a 5 and a 2. So no more top and bottom to reduce. So that will be 25 over 2. And I'm going to keep it like that for right now, okay? All right, plus. I see my second term highlight in blue is multiplication of fractions. So the 2/3 times the 3 over 4 multiplication of fraction. I think about reducing top and bottom first before I multiply. It's 3 and 3 reduced by 3. 2 and 4 reduced by 2. That's 1 and 2. So that will be 1 over 2. Since the LCD, so now this become addition of fractions. So find LCD. Since the LCD is already 2, we can just add the numerator. So 26 over 2, if you divide them, that's 13 will be the answer. All right. So very similar problem. Here is a subtraction sign outside the parentheses, separate between the two terms. So my first term remains at 7. There's no operation. My second term is 2 over 13 divided by 8. So let's do that on the side here. 2 over 13 divided by 8 means divided by 8 over 1. So division of a fraction means times the reciprocal, 1 over 8. So once that becomes multiplication of fraction, I'm going to take my top, reduce the bottom. So that will give me 7, still 7, right? First term minus 1 over, let's see, 13 times 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 1 plus 1, we carry, is 5. So once again, we run into a whole number combined with a fraction. So what I can do is take my denominator times a whole number and then subtract the numerator. So that will be 52 times 7, which is 14, carry 1. 35 plus 1 is 36. That's 364. Once I multiply, minus 1. 363 over 52. All right. So 5 plus 2 is 7. So 3 cannot go into it. So this is probably it for my answer. This is 131. I think it's a prime number. Anyway, if I reduce by 3. So I think that's it. All right. Now this one, they already put the addition in the parenthesis for me. So I know I got to do what's inside the parenthesis first. Then I will divide. So let's do this on the side. Let's see what's coming out of the parentheses. Since it's only 2 terms in there, I will just go ahead and add them. All right, 13 over 24 plus 14 over 15. Let's do this on the side. LCD between 24 and 15. I am not quite sure what they are. So let's give this a try. Put them inside the upside down division. I'm going to use a 3 to go into both of them, which is 8 and 5. Now, I cannot find another number to go into 8 and 5 at the same time, so that will be it. After checking with 2 of them, multiply all the number on the outside. 40 times 3 is 120. So my LCD is 120. 24 will become the new 120 times by, see the 24, 3 times 8, 5 times numerator times 5. 13 times 5 is 65 plus, see the 15, 3 times 5 is 15. 15 become the new 120 times by 8, so 14 times 8. 8 times 4 is 32, carry 3. 8 times 1 plus 3 is 11. So what's coming out of the parenthesis is 112 plus 65, which is 177 over 120. That was divided by 11 over 18. So again, division of a fraction means times the reciprocal, 18 over 11. So I'm guessing this 11 and 177 can be reduced by 11. I'm not quite sure. Let's check. 11 going to 17 one time. That's 6. Cannot do it. Yeah, 7. No, I thought I could. Maybe not. All right. 18 and 120 can be reduced by 3. 6 will work. 6 will go into 18 3 times. 6 go into 120 20 times. And I think that's it. It's going to be a big old number right here. So 177 times 3. Darn it. Wish I could use the 11 to reduce. It's not happening. 177 times 3. Alright, let's see what that turned out to be. 3 times 7 is 21. Carry 2. 3 times 7 is 21. Carry plus 2. 21 plus 2 is 23. Carry 2 again. 3 times 1 plus 2 on the finger is 5. So that's 531 over 20 times 11. 2 times 11 is 22. Add 1 extra 0. Okay, so that would be my answer. I'm just gonna reduce the, write them as improper fraction. All right, let's try another one. So this one got 2 sets of parentheses. Okay, so let's figure out what each parenthesis come out to be before we divide. So let's do this on the side once again. 2 over 3 minus 7 over 12. Subtraction between two fractions, find the LCD, 12. So 3 going to 12 times 4, numerator times by 4, that's 8, minus second denominator become the new LCD times by 1. Numerator times 1 is 7. So that's 1 over 12 coming out of the first parenthesis. Divided by 1 over 16 plus 6, 1 over 6. LCD between 16 and 6. I don't know what that is. That's an odd couple together here. If I use a 2 going to 16 8 times, 2 going to 6 3 times. So no more number can go up. It's 48. Duh. All right. So 6 times 8, 48. So 16 will go into 48 3 times. My numerator times by 3. That's a 3. 6 going to 48 times by 8 times. 1 times 8 is 8. So the second parenthesis come out to be 11 over 48. All right, so now this problem becomes division of a fraction. So my first fraction don't change. Now it will times by the reciprocal, 48 over 11. And I believe 12 and 48 can be reduced by 12. That's 1 and 4. So my answer, 4 over 11. All right, let's check out this one here. Oh, I see 2 addition subtraction sign outside the parenthesis. So that's 3 separate terms. First term, 13 over 24, no operation. Second term is 1/2 whole thing squared. And my third term is just positive, or just 7 over 18. So my second term has parentheses. Okay, well, my second term has exponent, so we will do that first because this is the only term with the operation to do. Remember now, exponent means time itself 2 times. So 1/2 whole thing squared literally means half times a half, which we know is 1/4. All right, the 13 over 24 is still the first term. The third term is still 7 over 18. All right, now my problem become add and subtract of fractions. So let's find the LCD between the 3 denominator. I don't think there's one number out here can go into all 3 of them. So let's do 2 of them at a time. I can use a 4 to go in 2 of these. I can use a 6 to go into 2 of these. So let's use 6 first. 6 go into 24 4 times. 6 cannot go into 4, bring it down. 6 go into 18 3 times. Now I can use a 4, can go into the 2 4s here, 1 1 and bring down the 3. So since I cannot find a number to go into any 2 of these, 1 1 and 3, then I will multiply all my numbers on the outside. So that will be 6 times 12, right? 6 times 4 times 3, which is 6 times 12, which is 72. So my LCD is 72. So 24, the first denominator 24 will go into 72 3 times. So times by 3, which is 39. Minus 4 go into 72. 4 becomes 72 times by 18. Which is 18. 18 becomes 72. Got times by 4. So numerator times by 4, that's plus 28. All right. So 39 minus 18 first. So that's 21 plus 28. That will be 59. My insert 59 over 72. Okay. I think that's a prime. Cannot reduce with a 72. All right. Let's see. We just got a few more to do. Okay. Same thing. So this one is not that bad. Inside the parentheses, gotta do what's inside the parentheses. Once I figure that out, we will divide. Now I know I got to divide it by a mixed number, so as being the last step, so I'm gonna go ahead and have them, whatever comes out the parenthesis, I'm gonna make them into a mixed numbers right away. So again, we run into a whole number combined with a fraction. So I'm gonna take my denominator times the whole number. Then this time I will add onto the numerator 3. So 13 times 3 is 39. 39 plus the 3 on top is 42. So that's 42 over 13, right? LCD doesn't change. Divided by this mixed number. So I will go ahead and write them as improper fraction. 13 times 4. 4 times 3 is 12. That's 52 plus 12. That's actually 64 over 13. So division of a fraction means we will times the reciprocal. 13 over 64. All right. The 13s will cancel out, become 1 and 1. 64. 64, using 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times, no, can't use 6, let's use 2, how about that? I thought I could use 8, but I can't. Yeah, if I use a 2, that's 21, this is 30, what? That's 32, ain't it? 21 is 3 and 7. 3 and 7 cannot reduce with 32. So my answer, 21 over 32. Okay, proper fraction, we can leave it just like that. All right. Ooh, this is interesting. This is subtraction of mixed number. All right, so let's do this on the side here. So since they're already in the parenthesis, let's figure out what's in each parenthesis. Oh, 5 and 1 over 4 minus 1 and 3/8. So LCD between the two got to be 8. All right, the denominator 4 become the new LCD 8 times by 2. So that's 5 and 2, 8 minus times by 1 times by 1, which is 3. So now the 2 is not enough to subtract the numerator 3, so that 2 got to borrow. So the whole number 5 become 4, right? Take the LCD plus the old numerator, that will give you a new numerator to work with, which is 10 minus 1 and 3/8. So now that will be 7/8 as a fraction part of the answer. 4 minus 1 is 3. So that's 3 and 7/8 minus, all right, 6 and 1/3 minus 6. So I'm going to treat this minus 6 as minus 6 and 0 over 3. Because my whole number, my LCD is already 3. Since there's no fraction part behind that whole number, it's really 0 divided by anything is 0. So 0 over 3 here is still viewed as a 0. 0 plus 6 is 6. So 1 minus 0 is 1 out of 3. 6 minus 6, no whole number. So this problem just now becomes 3 and 7/8 minus 1/3. All right, the LCD is 24. All right, so 8 times 3 become the new 24. 7 times 3 is 21. 3 going to 3 become the new 24 times by 8. Numerator times by 8 is 8. So whole number 3 subtract no more whole number, so that's still 3, right? There's no whole number on the second fraction. 21 minus 8, which is 13. So that will be 3 and 13 over 24. All right. So one last one. This one is more. This one is combination, order operation on mixed numbers and fractions. So check it out, okay? Here is one addition sign outside the parenthesis. So everybody in front of it is one term. 5 over 9 is the second term. So since my first term is multiplying and dividing involving with mixed number and fraction, I'm going to go ahead and turn everybody into improper fraction, and let's go from there. Divided by a over 13. All right, so let's turn my first mixed number into improper fraction. That will be 13 over 6 times, this is 16 over 15. Division of a fraction means times the reciprocal. So remember now, we hold down to the front part of the fraction. Dividing by fraction, any division afterward all got to turn into times the reciprocal. All right. So now let's reduce. Well, 8 and 16 can be reduced into 1 and 2, right? I think that's it. Because 13, 13, 2 on top cannot reduce to 6 and, oh, no, hold on a minute. 6, 2 and 6 can be reduced into 1 and 3. So I think that's it. All right, I don't know if y'all remember this. 13 times 13 is 13 squared, which is 169 over 3 times 15 is 45. Now that will plus the second term, 5 over 9. So now, once again, this problem becomes addition of fractions. So let's find the LCD, which is 45. So I'm not turning this back into a mixed number. I'm just going to use what I got here and continue, okay? So times 1 become the new LCD times 1, that's 169. Plus times 5 becomes the new 45. Numerator times 5 is 25. So let's see, 169 plus the 25 now on the top. That's 14, that's 9, that's 1. So that's 194 over 45. I know 45 can be reduced by 5 and 9 and 3, but this is none of those I can use. So my answer, 194 over 45. So very similar to order operation of whole numbers. So we're using terms to separate our operations that kind of help us not to always violating order operations. All right, that will conclude this lecture video on order operation of fractions. This is it's almost like a big review on all the operations that we done in Module 2. All right, I hope you enjoy Module 2 lecture video series. Thank you for watching.